Yo guys, what's up? It's me and I'm back with another video, and today I have for you something completely different because as you can see I'm not playing FFA as I usually do, but I'm playing Gridiron, and today's video is actually not a V2 rocket. I have something completely different in plan for today, so I'm gonna get into that in a second, but let me kind of explain why did I decide to pick this gameplay. First of all, it is my first, I believe it's my first ever game of Gridiron on Ardennes Forest, and I've dropped 88 kills non-lethals. I know that it's pretty much, that's an average kind of a gameplay, but I'm just saying, like, this is the reason why I picked it. It wasn't like completely random. But now let me get to the topic that I kind of talked about in the beginning. So today I'm gonna be making another kind of tips and tricks slash game analysis video. But if you've seen my first one, I was actually just going with the game, like commentating everything that I did. By the way, if you are interested, search my channel, I'm sure you will find it. It's a pretty recent video. But now let's get to the gameplay in the background, because Gridiron I find more fun than CTF on this game. Like I'm the one who is probably not even supposed to say this kind of shit, because I don't play these kind of game modes in World War II, and that's simply because I just don't have fun, I would say, in these kind of game modes. Like the game overall is just so much less fun than the previous Call of Duties, for various reasons. Like, you know, I think there are people who enjoyed this game more. I'm not here to argue, I'm just telling you my opinion, so let's just roll with that. But I've played this game mode. I obviously, as I said, I think it's more fun a little bit, because, you know, the ball in this game mode is the main kind of deal. Everybody runs towards it, everybody's trying to defend it, like, you know, the opposing team is trying to get it, etc, etc. If you're playing FFA and you take the flag to get more score, to get your score streaks earlier, everybody's going after you, they know where you are on the map, etc, etc. So I think that's a little bit harder for a solo player. But now let me get to the main point. I want to talk about how to play these kind of game mode. This applies to TDM, this applies to domination, pretty much any respawn classic game mode you can think of. So let me get to the deal. As I said in my previous video, your goal as a solo player or a player in a party, it's basically the same, is to get in spawn trap as soon as possible, like the most effective way of getting it. That's why you see a lot of Gridiron and Capture the Flag, because the spawns in those game modes don't flip. They are like around the main spawn area, and then they have some extra spots just in case, you know, the opposing teams just floods the spawn, and, you know, the game can't be like, they can't have people just spawning there, they have to put them somewhere else. So these spots, there's just a few of them on each and every single map. So if you memorize them, which you will probably very easily by just playing the game, getting more like your quote-unquote experience, you should be fine in running a spawn trap. But you have to be, you know, you have to be really aware of your team, you have to be aware of what you're doing, because, you know, I think Clayster made a video back in the day when he explained exactly how do the spawns move, etc, etc, but I'm not here to do just that. If you pay attention to the gameplay, you can see me playing kind of still facing the enemy spawn and just like finding the kind of blind spots on the map, because, you know, I mean, you can't really watch the same kind of, I would say, same lane as your teammates, because, you know, the chances of you getting the kills is lower on one end, and on the other end, you are risking getting flanked. So you have to be really aware of your positioning, and you have to like know all the different possibilities of the enemy team pushing. But this doesn't apply for every situation. You know, it's kind of hard to explain like this, because there's a lot of situations in the game, and you just have to play to kind of recognize what to do at certain points of the game. And that's kind of what I said in my previous video. So I'll be quoting myself a lot actually in this second kind of episode. But now let me actually break down some place in the gameplay so you have a better understanding of what I'm saying. So now, as you can see, I see on the minimap that the enemy team has a big possession of the ball. So rather than trying to fight them head on, I go on a flank. As you can see, quick 2 kills, my teammates get the ball, I clear kind of the path, you know, he dies over here, but I will pick up the kill and then unfortunately die because I didn't have enough cover and the enemy team just pushed me from their spawn. But the kind of a best thing to do to guarantee a V2 rocket is just to play around the spawn, switch your spots, so, you know, you are kind of less predictable, and just pay attention on the minimap. If you see like a hole in your like teammate kind of a line of support, like go and fill up that spot, bro, because there is the potential of an enemy flanking you that can cost you your streak. You just gotta really think like that. I mean, I've watched a video from Swag XBL and he explained it kind of like a bubble, but I don't really like his explanation because he was basically saying that, you know, you have to look at your team as a big kind of a bubble, and if you play like, you know, in between your teammates, you know, you just push out for certain kills, etc, etc, you should be good for the majority of the time. But I'm not really like this. I like to go solo YOLO on the other lanes of the map, etc, etc. But the truth is that when I need cover or I need some kind of a support, I run towards my teammates because they kind of quote unquote act like a shield. But you know, if they are trash and an enemy pushes you, you know, it doesn't really help. But most of the times it's kind of effective. So that's another tip that I want to share with you, and I feel like it's pretty much everything for today's video because I just don't want to like overwhelm you with too much information, which I probably did. But if you have any specific questions, write them down in the comments and I will make another episode with some gameplay, maybe a V2 rocket, maybe just some else, and I'm gonna explain it. And yeah, I think we can get really nice interaction if you will. That has been truly everything for today. The gameplay is coming to the end. I want to actually show everything because, as I said in the beginning, I feel like it's a little bit average, so I just wanted to use it for this purpose. So if you have any questions, again, definitely feel free to ask me either on YouTube or on Twitter. I don't really mind. I will just include it in the video. That has been truly everything for today, and I'm gonna see you with my other upload. Before I go, don't forget to check out the channel of the team that I pop stomp for, which is obviously Abstract Pop Stomping, and with that you can also check out some of the videos I did earlier. But that has been truly everything, and I'm gonna see you next time.